Ghosts, UFOs, alien encounters, and all things paranormal. These are real stories from real people. This is Fear of the Unknown. Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. I'm here with Shelley Nordfelt.
Hello.
Have you changed your name since you got married? Okay.
Hell no.
Cool. Did I say it right? Awesome. Yeah, I've known you for a few years. We're good mates.
That we are.
And I trust your word when you tell me something. So before you get into it, I just want to know, like, where do you stand when it comes to the paranormal? And, what do you believe in?
What do I believe in?
Yeah, when it comes to ghosts or the boogeyman.
I don't believe in the googie man and cookies.
Yeah.
But no, I do believe there is something else out there.
Yeah. We all tend to have that feeling, don't we?
I think so. I mean, there is a lot of people out there that have had different experiences. I
didn't realise it as much until I started talking to people about it. Because usually these days, people are quite afraid to talk about things that are outside of the realm of conventional science. It's like, you're crazy. It's like that. There's a word for it. It's called schizophrenia.
Oh, ouch. No, I think, just because it can't be explained by science doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Yeah. How old were you when you had your first sort of experience? Let's just get straight into it.
Okay, it was just a long time ago. So, but I was probably about in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
The first experience was, just shortly after my grandfather died. And we were at home just doing stuff like you usually do. And my mum and I, we just looked towards the lounge room, and we both like stopped dead in our tracks because we saw a figure that looked like my grandfather. And like I turned around and looked at my mum, and she said, "Blue shirt," and I went, "Oh my god!" And then sure enough, it was like it only happened for a couple of seconds. But
a couple of seconds? That's still that's like a really long time.
It is a really long time. And then he just disappeared. So
how did he disappear? Was it like in a mist?
No, it was just
that's fucking weird.
Hologram 1 minute, gone the next.
Was he transparent?
When do you try and remember that it wasn't like, it was like a shadow.
Huh.
It wasn't like a solid person, like I'm looking at you.
Right.
It was just an image. It's hard to explain. Yeah, it was definitely not solid, but it wasn't mist either. It was just,
fucking every time.
Have you heard of silencing your phone?
I know. Every single time.
There it goes.
What? What do you want? All right. Silent.
You can start again. It's fine.
Nah, it's all right. I'll leave it in.
Really?
Damn it. Every single time. What's wrong with you, Paulo? Yeah, okay. So that's the part I find interesting because the traditional stories that we kind of... Well, like when you think of a ghost, traditionally what you think of is this kind of translucent image that's fluttering. That's probably... I mean, what you're saying is something that's really hard to describe.
Yeah, very hard.
And I guess the best description that people could say is that it was like hologrammy, or before the word hologram existed. Yeah,
but I mean, thinking back to looking at it now, it wasn't transparent, but it wasn't solid.
Huh.
Does that make sense?
Opaque.
It wasn't like I don't recall like seeing things behind.
Okay.
Like it was.
But it had this unreal, non-physical quality to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so like a projection.
Yeah, almost like a projection, yeah. It was really...
And you both saw it together?
We both saw it together.
And did he have an expression on his face?
No, it was literally side profile. And he was literally walking away from us. So we didn't actually see... He didn't look at us, didn't interact with us.
Yeah.
Wasn't malevolent, wasn't benevolent. It was just...
A glitch.
Almost like a glitch. It's crazy,
wow.
right?
Wow, yeah, that is crazy. What is that, though?
I don't know.
I strongly believe that all of this stuff has a scientific reason behind it. That, I mean, it hasn't been discovered yet. I mean, I always go back to the point where I think, like, I really strongly suspect it's just another dimension that's interfacing with ours.
That's one theory.
Crosses over a bit every now and then.
But it was almost, it never happened again. Like,
Yeah.
to this day. Like, that was over 27 years ago.
And it was unmistakably him.
Yes, absolutely unmistakable.
Huh.
He wore the same blue shirt his whole life. The little penguin polos.
Wow.
Yeah.
So his clothes went to heaven too.
Maybe.
Oh, that's bizarre. Because, I mean, that's something that, like, that's an interesting thing, how his clothes, how his memory was projected, or, like, the image, but not just the physical likeness. He wasn't in a tunic or anything.
No.
It was the clothes that he usually wore.
Yeah,
Do
absolutely.
you think that could be something that comes from our own minds?
Yeah, well, I've asked my
Not like madness.
I've asked that question myself. Like, was it just... Cut that, please.
Sure, Shelley.
Oh, it's been a long day.
Yeah. A bit of explanation. I've been trying to drag Shelley into this podcast for several days now. And I haven't given up because I'm like, I want to hear your fucking ghost story.
I'm a busy girl.
Yeah. So this really strong image that everyone had in there of your grandfather was projected. So it may not have necessarily actually been him.
No, it might not have, but
Yeah.
it damn did look like him.
Yeah.
And for two of us to see
That's
the same thing.
Shared
as well,
hallucinations.
It's kind of weird, right? It doesn't usually happen, sort of.
Yeah.
But that's not the first time that something like that has happened.
What else?
So, another occasion, I don't know if it was before or after. I think it was after. But my mum and I were walking up the up ramp from the car park, Whitford City,
Right.
just walking up the ramp. And then we just both stepped out of the way for someone. Like, we both parted. Mum went right, I went left. But there was no one there. There was seriously no one there. So we both got out the way to let someone pass. And then when we had moved, we looked at each other and, like, there was seriously no one there.
Yeah.
And we both freaked out and just said, what the hell was that?
Wow.
And that was it. Like, we just carried on and went shopping.
I know. What can you do?
You can't do anything. But yeah, we it's just weird that we both stepped out of the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
It's
just
amazing.
like,
As a kid, this is something that's always really bugged me. Apparently kids have a lot of hallucinations, and as a child I had an extremely vivid hallucination. It's like I woke up from a nap, which already makes it sound like, oh, you were just a stupid kid, but it's like I woke up from a nap and I was awake, and I saw my family running past the door, all wearing matching tracksuits, and I just had this feeling of being I was like so sad because I was out of place. I was like maybe 3 or 4 at the time. But it's extremely vivid. I mean, I haven't experienced hallucinogenic hallucinations, but this is something that was like as real as me looking at you now. Like, I can remember seeing details. And so they ran down the corridor and I ran out after them, and I followed them, and they're all like trying to run away, kind of like laughing. They all ran into the master bedroom and closed the door, slammed it in my face. And so I struggled with the door for a second, then I opened up. No one was inside there. I screamed because I was like, what the hell is going on? Mum comes running in from the kitchen in an apron, like she's just been cooking lunch. And then there's a knock at the door, and that's my brother and my dad. They just came back from the markets.
weird.
Yeah.
That sounds very weird.
It's just annoying because, like, a hallucination, we see it as just like a mind trick. That's something that's just like, it's just like a little electrical signal. But I get a feeling that it's something else. It's not as simple as that.
No, definitely not as simple as that. But matching tracksuits, really?
Yeah. And I was like, where's mine? You know, when you're 3 years, the idea of your whole family wearing matching tracksuits is the raddest idea on earth. I don't know, for me it was.
Okay, I'll pass.
We weren't allowed to play with mini toys.
that's weird.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Any others?
There was one time that I had a really bad dream.
Okay.
In my dream, I was trying to get to a place where my great auntie, she lived in this in North Beach in a flat,
Okay.
kind of like this. And I was dreaming I was trying to get there, and like there was obstacles and things in my way, and I couldn't get there in time. And I woke up quite stressed as you normally would. It was a really vivid, weird dream. And I called my mum. I said, I just had the weirdest dream about Auntie Mays. And she's like, I just got off the phone.
Oh, Auntie May's dead.
She died. She literally died at some time in the morning when I would have been asleep.
That's unbelievable.
Dreaming of trying to get there. And that freaked me out, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, I wasn't even close to this woman. You know, she was my great auntie. So like,
it just reached you somehow.
I don't know. I can't explain it.
Right.
And it's just one of those, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
What do you do with that? So
I know.
Yeah, so that's pretty much
Secretly, I hope that if I hear enough of these stories, that something will click, and I'll be like, oh, that's what it is.
I have a friend as well who passed away, but the day before he died, he called me and he says, I just dreamed I died, and I'm really freaking out about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like I'm trying to like calm him down, obviously, like a good friend and stuff like that, and seriously, the next day he died.
No way.
And like he died in the worst circumstances as well. No. He went to camp. He was like, this is when I was in high school.
Right.
So he went to camp, and some idiots were messing around with a fire hydrant and squirted it at him, but it went into his lungs, and he literally drowned.
Oh, wow.
So it was a very tragic death, but that really freaked me out as well, because literally the day before he called me and was telling me about this, like he didn't want to go, and I'm like, don't be silly, it was just a dream.
That's horrible. I can't imagine what that must do to someone.
Yeah. Rip Joel, miss you, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was...
It's incredible. There are some, like, have you heard Jeff Buckley?
Mm-mm.
It's a musician. He wrote a song, it's his haunting song, about, like, drowning. It's called So Real, or something like that. Anyway, he died, like, he went for a swim off a boat in the Mississippi River, and he just never came up.
Wow.
Yeah, but I remember the lyrics. Something about pulling him under. It dragged me in and pulled me under. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's wrong.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to... drowning's pretty bad. That's one way I would not want to go.
No. I think, happily in your sleep or having a sex dream, that's probably the best.
Even, something instant would be fine too, but yeah.
Just having just getting switched off.
Yeah. I'll definitely take that any day. But that's pretty much it for me. My mum has had quite a few weird things happen to her as well. Right. An old lady sitting on the end of a bed, and then...
Is this sleep paralysis?
Oh, I don't know. It's like she was freaked out.
Yeah. It could be a hag.
She was wide awake. Yeah, it could have been. But it wasn't like, again, it wasn't malevolent. Yeah. It was just, she just sat on the bed. Yeah. And she's also felt someone like stroking her arm. Okay. Lovingly. That was after her mother died.
Oh, no.
She's had sitting watching TV, this intense freezing air, like putting your hand in a deep freeze that just hung around her legs. And like you could feel it. You could put your hand in and actually feel this freezing cold air. Just in this one isolated area. Just isolated around her feet. It was crazy if like I hadn't put my hand in it.
That's amazing that you say that. Do you know why?
Why is that?
I can't mention any names. But there's someone I know who has been complaining about like smells. And I went to visit them, and for a long time I because they're someone that kind of, they sort of get excited about stuff quite easily. So you take what they say with a pinch of salt. And I went to their house and I was like, okay, let me go. Because they said there's this toxic smell. And I went over and I was like, the first thing that came to my mind was like, this is a really nice smell. Like I walked next to where their bed is and it was like this really perfumey smell. And I was about to say that, and then this person goes, oh, by the way, the last smell I smelled was like really perfumey. It was really lovely. And I was like, what? So I walked out and I was about to tell them, and I thought, no. I'm going to have one more smell. And I walked in there. No shit. The room was fucking looking at me. And it smelled like toxic waste. It had this turpentine, gasoline kind of weirdness to it, yeah.
Did you look for a source?
It was isolated to one area. I took a step back, I couldn't smell it. And this is next to an open window with airflow.
Wow.
I took a step forward again and I could smell it. And I'm like, this doesn't seem natural.
This is the point where I would look up the history of the house and find police reports.
Yeah, right.
And that kind of stuff to prove the theory.
Yeah, because to this day, this person still reports feeling extremely sick for no reason, just by being in the house.
I'd be moving house if I was this person.
Yeah. I'm starting to think that way as well, but like the rational part of me that doesn't want to be bothered is like, oh, come on, mind over matter. That's, yeah.
Sometimes, until it's too late.
Yeah. Wow, they'll be interested to hear that.
But as for, for everything else, like this, it's been quiet for a very long time.
Yeah.
So I guess whatever or whoever has moved on.
How about Bigfoot?
Well, I don't know about Bigfoot. I'm more of a sciencey girl when that kind of story comes about.
Okay.
Like, I prefer evidence.
Yeah.
It's like the religious debate.
Sure. Cryptozoology is something that I could never be bothered with. It's one of those things that, like, if it hasn't affected you closely, like, naturally you won't be looking into it. I'm not much of a Bigfoot person because, like, there are so many fakes out there. Uh-huh. It's crazy. They finally, like, properly analysed the footage of the Bigfoot, and they matched up the camera lens, the distance, exactly where the guy was walking, and it's not even big. It's like a kind of short guy, like maybe
really
5'6", something like that.
And he just has
a gorilla suit,
big feet, or a big foot.
Yeah, a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I imagined Bigfoot to be just this thing that's hopping on one leg.
Yeah, 1 foot.
Yeah. How about aliens? Or UFOs?
Well, I guess my belief is that we seriously can't be alone.
Yeah.
That's
a boring answer.
How big is the goddamn universe, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's, Area 50, whatever it is.
51.
That's right. I'm trying to remember because I had a Counter-Strike server that was Area 52, and I always blend them now. So
yeah,
there would have to be some form of
but
other life.
You've never heard of anyone having encounters?
No, never.
Do you know that in Perth last month there were more sightings than there have been in a very long time? And I'm not saying like
sightings of what?
Of orbs. Which people
define orb.
A light in the sky that's moving unnaturally. You know how a fly can zip and sort of go against physics? Yeah, it's like hovers in one spot, moves around. And they're usually in pairs.
Technology.
You reckon it's technology?
I wouldn't put it past the government.
Yeah.
And other conspiracy theories.
Yeah. I think that the way they move kind of is still unexplainable.
What about drones?
Drones, that's explainable because they slow down and they have like slow deceleration and acceleration.
You mean easy and ease out?
Yeah, easy. What's it called in After Effects?
Easy and ease out.
Okay. Yeah, they're keyframed.
Yes.
They're keyframed. Yeah, but this is just, it's kind of like, imagine a big metallic object that just goes, bah! It stops in front of you.
Okay.
So they must have invented inertial dampeners from Star Trek.
Perhaps.
Do you have any other sort of opinions about conspiracies?
Conspiracies.
Yeah.
Only from TV.
Yeah? That's what the telly told me.
That's what I tell you. Well, my mum is really bad for that. She believes everything she sees on the news. Yeah. But I don't know. My mum always says, they make movies with all these weird things to desensitize us. So when it really happens, we'll be okay with it.
I think she's a really wise person. Honestly, that's exactly what I think. That's what I've been suspecting for a while.
Yeah. I mean, it's believable, right? But
well, okay. Here's the thing. Have you heard of the alien autopsy video?
Yeah.
It's apparently like a lot of people, how like when you hear a lot of people say it's been debunked. I tried to find the source of where it's been debunked, and I found a couple videos of this dude who was acting very badly, going, "Oh, that's me in the video. And I remember one day this man approached me and said, 'Hey, could you make a fake alien video for me?' And I said, okay. It was just terrible. And then they have an interview with the actual guy who got his hands on these reels, and this guy's not lying. You can tell he's speaking truthfully. When he's emoting, it's happening spontaneously. But this other guy looked like someone just chucked $500 in his pocket and he was chuffed. But here's the thing about the alien autopsy video. It's a grey, right? So it's a greyling. The typical, stereotypical alien that you'd see. And this little bastard has been replicated in all these movies and TV shows and stuff. However, as a fellow creative, you get an eye for what is stylized.
True, yep.
And if you look at this alien autopsy footage, this doesn't look stylized. It doesn't look like they've given it a little bit of a twinge of insectoid with like a little bit of like demon. It looks like a dude.
A dude.
Yeah. It looks like, that's the best way I can describe it. It looks like just a guy. It's female. It actually has a vagina. But it looks like a person.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but yeah, I do recall it looking definitely humanoid.
Yeah, because I've seen other TV shows with look how easy it is to fake. And always when they have an alien, it's like they've got these ridges and they've got these kind of
the wrinkly bits. And
and they've made it look extra impressive. But this looks like an underwhelming. The more you look at it, the more you get used to it quite easily. It doesn't have this kind of I'm going to kill you vibe to it.
Well, it's lying on a table, dissected. So
you know what I mean. It doesn't look like some industrial light and magic
CG thing.
I found that compelling because I know as a fact that every artist wants to. It doesn't matter how neutral you ask them to be, they will put their signature somewhere or another on their work. And this just looks like the work of millions of years. Slowly evolving.
I can't say yes or no for aliens, but I would be surprised if there wasn't.
Yeah. I gotta say, I accept that answer, that the universe is so huge, and
it's kind of unrealistic, right?
I know, but I've heard it so much. I'm so bored of that answer.
True. They found alien life on the moon, wasn't it, or Mars or somewhere?
Allegedly, someone found
bacteria, but it's they could say we don't even know what's on the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
That could be another universe for all we know. We'll never get there. So
hopefully one day, be positive. Come on.
Maybe if they
never.
Maybe if all the water on the Earth finally dries up.
Well, look, they're reverse engineering alien technology, so eventually they'll find something that can handle the pressure of being that deep underwater. Have you seen that documentary with the guy that made the Titanic? James Cameron.
Okay.
Yeah, he did this documentary where he gets inside one of these little pods and he submerges, and it's they made it. It's a documentary, but they made it into a movie where he's the hero. It's so funny because it's when he gets back up to the surface after seeing all these he goes down the Mariana Trench quite far. He comes back up and he's he
changed man.
Yeah, he went down a boy, he came down a man, a James Cameron man. And It's so funny because like when he comes out of the water and they bring the like submersible, whatever it's called, up, they open the hatch at the top, like, psst, and he comes out and he's kind of like he only brings his torso out. It's like he's wearing the fucking thing, like like an extension to his body. And his wife comes up like, oh, and like kisses him. He's like, yeah, as if he's just like saved, killed all the Germans.
That's
in the Nakatomi Plaza. yeah. He's got this like, yeah, I did that vibe. Yeah, sorry for...
I'm kind of sad that I haven't had any recent things.
No. Just like, I just want to talk about it. I just want to talk about what people think of, what they think of it, you know?
Mind you, having said that though, like, I always will, like, sometimes I like, if I'm driving, I'll like see someone step onto the road and there's actually no one there. But it's in my peripheral vision. It's kind of weird.
That is weird. Yeah. That never happens to me.
Like,
I've never
it happens
heard of
quite
that.
often with me. Like, it's not only driving or if I'm walking down the street or maybe I'm hallucinating. maybe I'm crazy.
Maybe you have the sixth sense.
Perhaps, but it's always when I'm not looking for anything.
Yeah.
But these things will just, and then I'll take a double take and they'll be gone. And it happens so often now that I'm like, oh, no, yeah. Carry on.
Whoops, didn't kill you.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah. I mean, it's not something that is like terrifying where you like slam on your brakes and get out the way. It's
it happens just too late.
It's just too quick and too quick to react. Yeah. But
have you ever like hit a bird? Like a pigeon?
Yes, once I have. It was terrible.
It's like...
I pulled over and I cried. I was like, I'm so sorry.
You know how some birds, they're just like hell lazy smartasses, and they're just like, yeah, I know you're not going to hit me, and they just like amble their way. Yeah. And when you hit them, it's like...
It's an explosion of feathers.
You look in the rear vision mirror and there's like the car behind you is driving through a cloud of feathers.
It's like when the coyote runs off and like... he leaves his like fur behind when you... Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Have you ever hit an animal in the desert?
No.
We've hit
I don't think I've ever been in the desert.
Just like as kids we used to go across a Nullarbor, and we did have a UFO sighting when we went there. But it's one of those things where it's like, could it have been something else, but whatever. We hit a kangaroo.
Ooh, I've almost hit a kangaroo before. It sort of stood up and looked at me and just went, oh no, you fucking don't.
Yeah, that's what this one did. We smashed into it and it was just kind of like just hopped away.
Yeah.
But if its legs kind of go through the windscreen and it panics, that can properly mess you up. Those things are so... Like, have you seen those big red kangaroos? They're not like those little cute ones that are at Whiteman Park.
No, man, these are like 7 foot tall.
Yeah. It's like, when a kid first learns how to draw muscles?
Yes.
Right, they look like... It looks exactly like that. Holy crap.
Yeah, they're huge.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't hit it, but like, we were not going as fast, but when it jumped out and like it literally just turned, just went...
Yeah.
You want to go through me? Type of thing. Yeah.
I've got a friend who they're going to go on the podcast, but they want to be anonymous, so I'm going to have to garble their voice and stuff because.
Can I have my voice garbled?
Nah.
Or I can
too
put
late.
a voice already.
All right, go for it. That'll make the podcast more interesting. Anyway, so she went to a meditation retreat up in Serpentine, and she was the last one to leave because it was like a big group of people, and it was in this sort of property, and this big old house is where they do their meditation. Anyway, she was the last one to leave. All the cars ahead of her had pissed off, and she was going down the driveway, and there's a big dam to the right of her, and she saw a UFO just hovering there above the water. The way she described it was like from where you are to that front door.
Oh, that's pretty close.
Yeah.
So what does this thing look like?
She said it looks like exactly like a 1960s, those airbrushed
I know.
artistic renderings, it comes back to what your mum said. Right, so she sees it, she gets this feeling of like deja vu times 10. And and she doesn't feel any fear for some reason. But she gets this sudden impression that it knows that she's noticed it. And this happens over the space of like less than 5 seconds. She's driving along just like, you know.
Yeah.
And it just, without making a single sound, it just goes boom, up into the stars. Just instantly, just a boom like that.
I wish something like that would happen to me.
This is someone that I've known for many years, and they are not an attention seeker in that way. You just know they're not coming up with bull crap. And anyway, later that night, they was driving maybe 5 minutes down the road further. A big giant wombat just runs out in front of the car, like, and it's the size of you know how some kids have those giant backpacks for school?
Yeah.
It looks like they're huge, right? A bit bigger than that.
What?
It just comes running out in front of the car. She feels nothing. She just glides over it, instantly looks in the rearview mirror, and there's nothing. And apparently that's a thing. It's a type of phenomenon which occurs.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Giant wombat.
And guess
crossings.
what? In WA you don't get those wombats. I've never seen a wombat here apart from in the zoo.
Yeah, me too.
So that's strange. I mean, and here's the thing. She just came back from a meditation retreat. People who are tired, people who are like sleepy, it's so convenient.
Yeah.
And it's so frustratingly convenient that it happens to these people that are in a relaxed mental state, that these things happen to them. But
it's true.
But the act of what's happening before them like wakes them the fuck up.
But it's funny you say that. You know, it's kind of like when we almost have to be not seeing to see. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I think that's like when I have my weird people crossing the road or people standing on the side of the road, or even when I'm just walking down the street and something will catch.
Yeah.
It's usually when you're not looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I'm just weird.
Look, I was trying to explain this to someone the other day. Like these things as well, they don't seem to shake you as much as if like, you know, you're being mugged.
No.
You know, something visceral or physical that's happening to you.
No
it's
reaction.
weird as hell.
Yeah.
And you have all the reason to be like traumatized almost.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things, it's like a dream where you wake up from a bad dream and you kind of let it go.
Yeah. All of the encounters I've had, like they've been like, whoa, what the hell? But it's been like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm still here.
Yep. Got to pay the bills.
Yep. Life goes on.
Yeah. That leads me to the other point of like that people who are skeptics. I mean, here's the thing. State of mind has a lot to do with what people see. And I don't 100% believe anything. But I like maybe 90% or 99 at the most % believe that people see what they say they see. I mean, the fact that I wasn't there is that 1%. And that's with anything. But people who are in a skeptical frame of mind, they seem to sort of like never see any of this shit. And it's not because they're skeptical. It's because possibly their frame of mind, the way they think, has some type of energy that it gives off.
Or they're in denial and they really have seen something, but they won't embrace it.
Yep.
That's my...
That was just my dad dressed up as an alien, you know, like Santa Claus.
Yes.
That anal probe was just it was just a normal checkup. Anyway, it's a weird world, and I want to know more about it.
It is weird.
I want to know. I just want to know, like, what it looked like. I wish I could see it through your eyes, what you actually saw, so you could pause it and you could sort of analyze it, and you can see what plugins they used.
It's kind of funny, like the memory now. I mean, it was such a long time ago, but it's sharp as a tack.
Yeah.
I wish I could remember everything else as well as that.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of those adrenaline moments or something.
Yeah.
Things that stick with us forever.
Anyway, tell me if if anything else happens.
I will do.
If you encounter a boogeyman, finally.
I don't think boogeymans exist.
I don't know. My friend
I just envision this snot monster.
Yeah. Have you read Stephen King's short stories? He's got one called The Boogeyman.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
But it's ridiculous.
That scared the shit out of me when I was a kid. I had a theory. My friend, in the first podcast, she was saying that she heard a voice coming from the cupboard in her bedroom. And I was thinking, if that's a phenomenon that occurs commonly...
I can't say I've ever heard of... That would freak me out.
Yeah. But imagine if through the years, 1 out of every 1,000 kids has experienced a voice communicating with them from a door that's ajar.
No,
That could easily turn into a mythology of a boogeyman.
Well, I guess I could.
Are you going to be at home alone tonight?
Actually, yes. I am totally not worried.
Okay.
I sleep like a baby.
I get the heebie-jeebies so easily, hey?
Really?
Yeah, after doing this podcast, usually I have to, like, watch a movie, like a comedy or, like, you know, watch cat videos or something.
Cat videos.
Yeah.
That fixes everything.
Yeah. All right. Okay, this time for real. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
You've been listening to the Fear of the Unknown podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media with all links in the description.